Hi guys, and this is Omo here again. If you're just joining for the first time, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for the support. I really do not take it for granted. Thank you so much. So there was something I noticed. It's like a craze or like a rave amongst my generation, the '90s generation. Yeah, I'm not a Gen Z. Trust me. I'm not a Gen Z. So there's this craze or this yearning, this hunger to have a mentor, someone to guide you, show you the way so you don't make mistakes, someone to just, look ahead and just, give you an immediate solution based on what they're seeing ahead. That is not bad. I'm not criticizing that, but I'm just saying it's not really necessary to have a human form, or should I say an alive, a living mentor. It's not necessary. Your next best mentor could be in a book. For example, Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill. I love Napoleon Hill's work, but where on earth am I going to find Napoleon Hill? He's late. He's resting in peace. Do I have to kill myself and say, oh, my mentor is dead? Or there's nothing to worry about. What I'm just trying to tell you guys is that if you want a mentor, if at all is necessary, self, if at all is necessary, you don't need to find someone in your immediate circle because there have been a lot of ruckus going on between mentees and mentors because you wanted the person to be by your side, guide you and lead you from afar. You envisage them as these perfect human beings, and then you get close and find out that this person is not so perfect, and then you start acting up, and then the next thing you see is there's a mentor and mentee crisis. My dear, it's not necessary sometimes. Just go and get a book. Find someone. I also love Bob Proctor, but he's dead. Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, if you notice, there's a pattern throughout Bob Proctor's life. All he talked about was this book. I cannot say all, I can say 80% of what he talked about was this book and how he read it and it changed his life. I mean, Napoleon Hill, Bob Proctor, Steve Covey. I cannot chase after these people. Apostle Joshua Selman. These are people who I consider as people who are, I would consider as mentors, as people who are uh, 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 um, pioneers of a pathway that was very new to and strange to a lot of people, but at the end was a lot of was yielded a lot of success. Apostle Joshua Selman is very much alive, but he's too busy to have anybody's time to say, I want to mentor you. No, I watch him from afar. Another thing you can do is learn by observation. I didn't need to come near you to say, oh, mentor me, be my mentor, all of those things. I learned a lot by observation. I observe you and see how you attack or you approach certain matters, certain issues. I'm like, that's a very good strategy. And I try to emulate it. I don't need to come to you. My previous boss was like a mentor to me. I didn't need to say, oh, sir, you're my mentor. I didn't need to say that. I just observed how he worked. I observed his approach towards life. He has this, I must get it. I must get it. I must get it approach. There is no telling him this thing is not possible. No, he doesn't believe in that. He always believes that there is a way out. There is always a way out. It might be through partnership, it might be through him going through another strategy, but there is always a way out. And what was his confidence? His confidence was his knowledge base. Before he approached a matter, he did a lot of research so that when he's talking to someone and you're bringing up questions that might look like, oh, we don't want to partner because of so and so. So he comes with the answer, a positive answer to show you that, okay, this is what you're worried about. This is actually the solution to it. Do you get? His knowledge base gave him confidence to approach issues. That was how I observed him. That was how I learned from him. And I started to say, okay, I need to also build my knowledge base in any field I find myself, or I find to say, okay, this is something I'm passionate about. I need to build knowledge a lot. My knowledge bank cannot be average. It cannot be half. Do you understand? That was what I learned from him. From Apostle Joshua Selman, I am seeing excellence and leadership. I'm saying that if you must lead a person, you see, there's also a connection. You must have a lot of compassion and a lot of knowledge to be able to lead people. People are the hardest things to lead on earth. For you to have that much compassion, when you go to Koinonia, Eternity Network International, the one thing I will tell you stands out is the love, the brotherly, sisterly love. You cannot argue it. You cannot. It's clear as day. It's not brotherly love to say, oh, it's something bad. It's that love that Jesus talked about. You would see it clear as day. And I'm like, what is this? I love this. I want to emulate this in my own life, in my own business. And I'm like, okay, how did this man go about it? And then he said something during one of his sermons. He's like, I read 5 books. I think he said he reads a leadership book, he reads his Bible, he reads book on human management, he reads books on excellence. I can't remember the last one right now. But this is what he does to stay on top. You need to hear when he's speaking. They call him the wordsmith. His words, they are like arrows and they go straight into your life, hitting those points, those pain points of your life. And you're like, ah, he opens the Bible and he reads, and you're like, is it the same Bible? The Rema is totally different. Do you understand? That is Apostle Joshua Selman. Then we talk about Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill just itemized 13 principles that will change your life forever. And a lot of people who have read it have vouched to the authenticity and the power of the book in changing people's life. And you know the kind of people that vouch for this book. We are talking about John D. Rockefeller. We're talking about Andrew Carnegie. We're talking about even Bob Proctor. We're talking about President Roosevelt. These are people that you can never ever buy their recommendation. You can buy it with all the money in the world, and yet they endorse this book. So what does that tell you? The book really truly has the capacity to change your life. And if a man could live his entire life talking about the power of this book till he died, and he had so much evidence to show about it, to show to the power of this book, then why can't I read it? Why can't I? This book can also mentor me. I'm reading it because I want to change my life. I want to change the way I see things and perceive things. There's also another book by Bob Proctor, Change Your Life, Change Your Paradigm. I read that book so that I've not read it yet. I'm going to read the book so that my life can also change, because a lot of people have confessed to the power of the book as well. Am I going to chase after Bob Proctor? Am I going to chase after Napoleon Hill? It's unnecessary. I picked their book. Their books are the best way for me to get mentorship. It came directly from their minds and their hearts. I don't think there's anything that can be more wholesome in capturing their perspective or how their lives entirely than their books. I am saying this because some people believe that, oh, once you tell another person that you have a mentor, oh, I have a mentor, it's not like a bragging right. I have a mentor, but you don't have. That means your life is going to be a mess. It's not that. It's not that. Some people are fine. They have physical mentors, people that are alive who are truly guiding them through. And it's amazing, it's good, it's lovely that you can actually communicate to these people and ask questions that you would not ordinarily be able to ask if they just wrote a book. But what I'm saying is that sometimes it's not. In fact, half the time you don't have to scratch and crawl and cry because you want to have a physical mentor. Most of the time, these people who you envisage from afar look so perfect, but when they come close, you see their flaws. Do you have the maturity to handle a full human being? Understand that these mentors are not perfect people. And some people, because of how they've viewed and envisaged these people in their mind, oh, they are so perfect. And then they come close and you see that they are not as perfect as they envisaged, and they start to have issues. They start to be like, it's not what I thought it was. He eats food like this, or eats food like that, or he goes this way, he talks like this, he talks to me. And if you are in that kind of situation right now, that you have a mentor who you're having issues with right now, this is my advice for you. And this is an advice I drew from my own mentor, Apostle Joshua Selman. When you meet someone who has or is living the life you envisage in the future, you wish to live in the future, pick out what you need to pick out and leave the rest. Anything that person is doing that is not serving you, give it a blind eyes. Give it a blind eyes and focus on that part that is serving you. That was the part that brought you there in the first place. So focus on that and ignore those other parts that are not serving you. If you are in a mentor-mentee relationship right now that you feel that it was not worth it, pick and focus on those parts of that person that first brought you to them and ignore the other part. Of course, I'm not talking about all those if you know it's truly bad, toxic relationship, that kind of thing, please walk away. Or if you know it's not that bad, the person maybe is just doing one or two things that you're not really comfortable with, that is not so bad. Please focus on those parts that are working, the parts that brought you there, and keep tapping as much as you can. And when it is time to maybe separate or something like, so as I was saying, my video kind of cut off. I have the way I didn't know. So if you need to separate. If there are people who have had mentors for 20, 30, 40 years, you get. But if you feel like this one is not serving you, feel free to walk away. Please, it's not necessary to look for a human like mentor, a physical living mentor. I just look to different people who have been successful in different fields that are actually interesting to me. And I draw wisdom from them. You don't need to be in their faces all the time. Pick their material and read. If you don't have a material, then try to scratch the internet, scrape it, browse the internet and get as much as you can get about the person. Keep studying them and you get wisdom. You don't need to. It's unnecessary. My people, please calm down. Calm down. I had a friend of mine who is very high politically tell me that there was a time he met some of these mentees. Oh, mentor me. I see the way you write. You're a great poet, you're a great literature rich, or whatever they call it. Please mentor me. And when push came to shove, he noticed that they were not as interested in wanting to learn. They just wanted the name of, oh, I have a mentor. This person is my mentor. That's just what they wanted, the glory and the glamour of it. They didn't really want to do the work to actually show that, yes, they are being mentored by someone who is as pronounced or who is as big as this. They didn't want to do the work to even make the mentor say, okay, yes, I want to help you. I really want to be invested in your life. They are not doing things to convince them. They just want the glamour of, oh, I have a mentor. If the mentor is like, okay, take on this tax and responsibilities, this will help you grow. They don't want to do it. But when they're out there, they'll be like, oh, yes, I have this person, it's my mentor, it's my mentors, this is my number. It's not like a bragging right. You're not ready to do the work. You just want the glamour of it. That was what he said to me, and that in his own words, from his own perspective, he does not even see it as anything. The mentor mentee thing is not necessary. From afar, observe and learn. That's it to him. So, like I said, if you have a mentor, it's fine. Please focus on what is working. Learn as much as you can learn and stay with the person if need be and walk away if need be. You get the need to have a physical living mentor is not necessary. In this age, we have a plethora of information on the internet. Technology has made it easy for us. Browse their material. Okay, what one me that is all my mentors are dead. Almost all of them, 90% of them are dead. My Monroe is dead. How do I find them? Can I ever get guidance? Does it mean that my life will be ruined? No. They have materials that they left behind. And I'm reading them to understand their mind and how they approach certain issues of their lives. And I'm applying them to my own life. So, my dear, if you don't have a mentor and you're feeling pressure to get a mentor, calm down, relax. Just find a book, read, digest it, take your time to really understand the book and practice what you read. It's not that hard. So, I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye now.